kind of a review. You learned a lot of strategies, actually. Many strategies. What have we learned as a strategy to solve some multiplication equations? That's all we've been doing for the last 3-4 weeks. What's something that we've learned? Kylie, what have we learned?
We learned arrays.
Arrays. If I'm writing, you are writing. We've learned arrays. Rows and columns. What else have we learned to help us as a strategy to solve a multiplication equation? Lainey?
Circles and dots.
Circles and dots. Good old circles and dots. Circles and dots. What else? We've learned some other things. Aiden?
I think we learned bundles.
No. Okay.
And,
Break apart. We just learned that strategy. We're going to focus on that some more today. We've learned about break apart, which I like. Aiden, did you have another one? No. Kylie, what you got? It's not a strategy. Ashlyn?
we learned how to do it in words.
What does that mean? Oh, like groups of? Groups of. Okay, can you think of something?
What are those little things?
They're called quotation marks. So it's if someone's writing, it's like someone said, and what they actually said is in quotation marks. Or it can be like something that goes together, like groups of is a saying, it goes together, so you put it in quotation marks. Yep. What about this? I know we have talked about this a lot. How could the commutative property help you? How could that help you? Barrett, how could that help you?
Commutative properties can help you by if you have like a multiplication equation.
Sure. So maybe if you're looking at, I don't know, 2 times 3, but you would rather do 3 times 2, being able to switch it around or whatever makes your brain happy, that'll totally work. Aiden, do you have one? No? You're just stretching? Okay. We have learned so many strategies. Oh, what about this one?
Fast arrays.
Fast arrays. Fast arrays. Anything else you can think of? Yep. The lines.
Like the fast array.
That's bracket part. Okay. Ashley?
100 chart.
We've looked at, how about skip counting? That's really what we're doing on a hundreds chart. From this point on, unless I say use this strategy, which sometimes I will say use this specific strategy, do whatever makes your brain happy. I know William's brain likes circles and dots. Right, William? Yep. That's fine. If William likes circles and dots, roll with circles and dots. Hunter's brain likes repeated addition a lot, because he can do his little triangles and add things up quickly. That's fine. Whatever strategy works for you. Sometimes I might say draw an array, and you have to obviously draw an array. But from here on out, pick something that makes your brain happy. If circles and dots works for you, go for it. If skip counting works for you and you're super good at it, go for it. what makes your brain happy. Do what makes your brain happy. Drawing a 6 by 3 array. What is the product of a 6 by 3 array? Billy? Please know it before you raise your hand. What? 18. It is 18. So next to your array, you should have it labeled 6 by 3 equals 18. If you know a 6 by 3 array is 18, how can you use that information to figure out what a 7 by 3 array is? Nope, I'm not asking you to draw a 7 by 3 array. I want you to tell me in words, if I know a 6 by 3 array is 18, how can I figure out a 7 by 3? Do not draw a 7 by 3 array. Gia, what would I do? Group of what? Of? Oh, I'm not adding a group of 1. William? I am not going to add 2 more groups of 6. Nope. Let's translate a little bit. You don't have to write this. 6 times 3, that is 6 groups of 3. And we're trying to get to 7 groups of 3. How do I get there? I have a 6 by 3 and I want to get to a 7 by 3. What do I need to do to get there? Aiden? Not 1 more group of 6. Nope. Mason? 1 more group of 3. To get to 7 by 3, I need 1 more group of 3. So next to it, I want you to draw 1 more group of 3 and then circle it. We're adding 1 more group of 3 to our array and then we're going to circle it. You're going to write what I'm writing in red up here. So we started with a 6 by 3. We added 1 more group of 3. These are all going to be little groups, so I'm going to put them in parentheses. And now I have an array that is 7 groups of 3. Yes, ma'am?
I thought you had to add 1 more group of 6 times 3.
Nope. I'm at 6 groups and I want to get to 7 groups. I'm just adding 1 more group. Okay. What was 6 times 3 again? Lily?
The answer?
Yep. 18. Very good. What is 1 group of 3? That's the easy one. What is 1 group of 3? Lily?
3.
3. You're on fire today. I like it. What is 18 plus 3? I know. Tricky math.
It's not tricky.
Gio? Guess what 7 times 3 is? 21. We kind of did a backwards break apart.
Yeah, that's what kind of confused me.
We kind of did a backwards break apart. And just to prove to you that we did a backwards break apart, you should be looking this way, thanks. Is if I break apart my 7 into 6 and 1. I have 6 groups, and I have 1 group.
What?
So again, just to prove to you that I just almost did a backwards break apart, Billy, because you're looking up here, not mess with your fingers. We have 6 and 1. I broke apart my 7 into a 6 and a 1. I have 6 groups plus 1 more group equals my 7 times 3.
I did not know. It's
Yeah.
harder to do it backwards.
It is a little harder to do it backwards. That's good. Alright. Turn the page if you need to. I know most of you are running out of space. Create a 6x8 fast array. A fast array. Fast array just has the 1 column and the 1 row, but the number in each. Does that make sense? You don't got to fill in all the rest of it. So create a 6x8 fast array, please.
The 6 go down and 8 go.
Alright, we've got our 6x8 fast array, which just means we do the outside portions. We have to fill it in a little faster. How can I make this a 7x8 fast array? How do I make this a 7x8 fast array? Kylie, what do you think? You got it. Think about it. I'll come back to you. Lainey, what do you think? I got a 6x8 fast array. How am I going to turn this into a 7x8 fast array? Yeah, where I have my 6, I'm just going to add 1 more circle, and that's like adding all these invisible circles, right? So we're going to be adding 1 more group of 8, and circle the invisible circles that we know are there, but we didn't draw because we did a fast array. So again, we started with a 6x8. Yep, write this with me. We started with a 6x8, right? Yes? No? Yes.
Wait, what?
We started with a 6x8 array. We added 1 more group of 8. We circled all the invisible dots because we didn't draw them because we're doing a fast array. And that's going to give us a 7x8. So now we're going to simplify our equation. Make this a little easier. I know 1 times 8. You should know 1 times 8.
Yes, 8.
8. What about 6 times 8? Ooh, that's a little harder. Does anyone know 6 times 8?
Yes.
Mason? Very good. So now I have a super simple equation, 48 plus 8. Count on. What is 48 plus 8? I should see you using your fingers. Count on. Start at 48. Count on 8. 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thomas, what'd you get? What is 7 times 8? 56. 56. Alright, so we have 7 times 7, 7 times 8, and 8 times 7. Turn back to the page that we were just working on, because we're going to figure these out. I have 3 different equations. Does this mean I have to figure out 3 different problems? Look carefully at what I've got.
No.
I have 3 equations. Does that mean I'm going to have to solve this 3 different times, Billy? Why not? Why not? Look carefully at what I got up here. Kylie?
2 of them are commutative properties, they just switched around.
Oh, say it a little louder for the friends in the back.
2 of them are commutative properties because they just switched around.
Yeah, those 2 are going to give us the same value. So we don't need to do it again. Does that make sense? Alright, so let's look at 7 times 7. 7s are a really hard number for me to skip count. If you are banging on the desk, please stop. Thanks. I would rather break apart because I know I can break apart my 7s into 2 very easy numbers. What easy numbers can I break apart my 7 into? We're talking easy numbers. Barrett? Oh, I am so good at my 5s, and I am so good at my 2s. So I'm going to break apart my 7 into 5 and 2. Because I am a master at some 5s and a master at some 2s. So now we need to rewrite our equation. 5 groups of 7. Oops, that doesn't look like 5. Plus 2 groups of 7. What is 5 groups of 7? What's that product, that mini product? Aiden? 35. Plus 2 groups of 7. What is 2 groups of 7? This is another easy one to skip count by. Hunter? 14. Add up 35 and 14 and we'll get our product. We'll give everybody a little chance to do it. I know some of you have some strong mental math skills and you can break apart these numbers even more. Give everybody a chance to think about it. Tyler, what'd you come up with? 49. 49. On your own, I want you to either do 7 times 8 or 8 times 7. It doesn't matter because I'm still going to get the same product. I want you to use the break apart strategy. Once you have figured it out, add it to your multiplication chart. Does that make sense? So you're going to solve one of these. They're the same value.
We add both of them to the multiplication.
And then you're going to add it to your multiplication chart. You can add that to your multiplication chart. Okay? Alright, I want to see break apart. Alright, a lot of you chose to break apart the 8 into 4 and 4. Which is fine if you know your 4s. Because if you don't know your 4s, that's going to be very, very hard. So instead, if you're not done, I want you to try to break apart the 7. Because 7s we can break into 2 easy numbers. What are the easy numbers for 7s? 5 and 2. If you have not solved this problem yet, solve it with me now. Hunter, what do you need? Solve it with me. Stay with me. Be patient. Yes.
I thought we needed to fill out 2 because the other row is 6s.
That should have already been filled out. You're filling out 3. From here, 5 groups of 8 plus groups of 8? Mason, do you know? Figure it out. Hunter, do you know? Pay attention. Stay with me. 5 times 8. What is 5 times 8? Figure it out. Sitting there doing nothing is not helping you. Ashlyn, do you know what it is?
5 times 8 is 40.
40. Plus, what's 2 times 8? Skip count by 2s.
No.
Billy? 2 times 8.
Oh, I thought you said 16.
You tell me, is that right? Yeah. What is 40 plus 16? Amy? 56. If I break apart the 4 and do 4 times 7, 4 times 7, I get 28 plus 28. 28 plus 28 is also 56. Because these are the same value. Yep, Hunter, yes. Alright, so let's look at our mini multiplication chart. Alright. 7 times 7. What was 7 times 7? Barrett, what was 7 times 7?
49.
49. Fill in 7 times 7. What about 7 times 8? 7 times 8. We just did this. Gia? No, not 59. We just did it. 56. If we know 7 times 8 is 56, what is 8 times 7? 56. We only have one more equation left. Alright, you guys just looked at your mini multiplication chart. What is the only fact that we have not done yet? William? That is not a fact. That is a number. 8 times 8. I need the whole equation. Somewhere in here. Maybe. It is there somewhere. I'll just write it. 8 times 8 is the only equation we have left. We're going to use break apart to solve 8 times 8. So turn to another blank page. Use break apart to solve 8 times 8. What was 8 times 8? Aiden? 64. We use break apart. I know that's still kind of tricky for some of us. That's okay. That's not right. It's 64. Alright. If you want to add it to your mini multiplication chart, that would be fine. We have one more thing that we're going to be working on. Alright, the title of the next blank page is going to be distributive property. And I'll write that bigger so you can see it. That is the title of the next blank page. Alright, the word distributive means to give a little bit to different, whatever you're distributing. So if I'm distributing pencils, I'm going to give everybody 1 or 2. Giving a little bit each time. We've talked about properties. We learned about the commutative property. It's like a fancy math rule. The distributive property is a fancy math rule that we know as break apart. So if you see the words distributive property, you should automatically think break apart. So make sure on your title you put break apart. Why do you not have a glue stick yet? So how can you solve this problem? Sitting there doing nothing is not helping.
Because it's times. Oh, yes.
So our distributive property, you need to know that's just the fancy math rule, fancy math version of saying break apart.
And long.
We do our arrays with dots. These arrays are rectangles. So I have 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3. What is the multiplication equation for number 1? William?
3 times 3
Equals?
equals 9.
Perfect. And guess what, William? If you weren't sure, could you count up all those boxes?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like an array, but instead of being circles, they are squares or rectangles. Okay? Go ahead and do questions number 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's it. Don't go ahead yet. Just 1, 2, 3, and 4. We did 1 together. We left off, we labeled the arrays, the box arrays here. Questions down at the bottom, 1, 2, and 3. It says make a rectangle drawing to represent each problem and then give the product. So what that means is you're going to make a rectangle array just like we have right here and then solve for the product. Fine. We're going to move on to this page. I know. I just said we're going to pause. We're going to scooch over to this page. So turn and look at this page, please. Mine's in color, so it's a little easier to see. Yours is in black and white. Put your pencil down, Billy. Thanks. Mace, put your pencil down. Alright, it says the large rectangle has been divided into 2 smaller rectangles. You can find the product of the entire rectangle by adding together the totals of the 2 smaller rectangles. Divided just means break apart, sweetie. So we took this huge rectangle and we broke it into 2 smaller rectangles, a blue one and a red one. You see where the blue and the red is? I know yours is hard to see, so go ahead and draw a line across so you know where the blue one is and the red one is. I know. So the bottom one is blue, it's 2 by 3, and then the top one is red, it's a 5 by 3. So we have 5 times 3. What is 5 times 3? Ashton? 15. What is 2 times 3? What is 2 times 3? Skip count by 2s if you don't know, or you can count the boxes. Kylie? 6. Now we add up these 2 products together to figure out the total rectangle. 15 plus 6 is 21. Okay? This is just break apart, but in picture form. Alright, so now we're going to try the bottom rectangle. We're going to break it into 2 smaller rectangles. Which direction you want to break it? Up and down? Side to side? Mason?
Up and down.
Up and down. Alright, so you want to do this one? Go ahead and break it apart this way. Just like I have. All I did was draw one. What is the equation for rectangle 1, which is going to be this side? What is that equation? count the boxes. We just did that on the first page. What is that equation? So I'm counting my rows and my columns.
But then the 18 equals to the same thing. 18.
What are my rows and columns? Aiden?
18.
I want the equation. What's the equation? Kate, what's the equation?
9 and 2.
That's not an equation. That's
Oh,
two
9
random.
times.
There we go. So equation for rectangle 1, we're going to write 9 times 2. Because it's a 9 by 2 mini array. So this one is 9 by 2. So what is going to be the equation for our other rectangle? What's going to be the equation over here? Ashlyn?
9 by 1.
The 9
It's 9 times 1.
by 1. This is 9 times 1. What is the equation for the whole thing? If I did this, and I wanted to know the equation for the whole thing, what would be the equation for the entire rectangle? You shouldn't be looking at me. Hunter, what do you think?
Wait.
I want the equation. Yep, rows and columns.
18 plus, wait, so 9 to 9? 9 plus 9 plus 9.
What is that as a multiplication?
9 times 3.
Good. So my entire equation is 9 times 3. So what we did is another break apart. On the notebook section in your notebook underneath this page, I want you to write 9 times 3. You broke apart the 3 into a 2 and a 1. I know that because we made a 9 by 2 mini array plus a 9 times 1 mini array. That's what my red and blue boxes are. This is just what break apart looks like when you match it with a picture. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Alright, once you have done this, and once you have finished, if you haven't finished the other page, you may finish that. After you finish both pages, you can put your math notebook up